Mastering the art of persuasion, 3 proven tactics. Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room and command attention, influence opinions, and inspire action, while others struggle to make an impact? Think about it. 2 people could deliver the exact same message, yet one gets ignored while the other changes lives. What separates them? What makes one voice powerful and another forgettable? The answer is persuasion, the ability to move people, to shape their decisions, to inspire action. Persuasion is a skill that has shaped history, built empires, and fueled movements. From political leaders to world-renowned entrepreneurs, the ability to persuade is one of the most powerful tools a person can wield. The power of persuasion, a neuroscientific approach. Remember that time you desperately tried to convince your friend to go to that new restaurant with you? We've all been there. Today, we're diving into the science behind persuasion and how you can master this powerful skill. Persuasion isn't manipulation. It's about influencing others ethically and positively to get them to see your point of view. It's not magic, it's neurochemistry. Persuasion triggers the release of dopamine in the brain, the feel-good chemical that makes us more receptive to ideas. According to Dr. Robert Heath, in Seducing the Subconscious, advertising and persuasive messages bypass rational thought by engaging the emotional centers of the brain. When people feel good, they are more open to new ideas and influences. Dr. Robert Cialdini, a leading expert on persuasion, explains in Persuasion that our brains are highly susceptible to influence based on environmental cues. He argues that subtle shifts in focus before delivering a persuasive message can make a significant difference in how it is received. This means that not only what we say, but how and when we say it can dramatically impact persuasion. And today, we are diving deep into mastering the art of persuasion, 3 proven tactics that will give you the power to influence anyone, anywhere. Whether you're a leader, an entrepreneur, a parent, or someone who just wants to be heard, these strategies will change the way you communicate forever. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have practical tools that you can apply immediately to get real results in your life. Tactic number 1, reciprocity. Triggering dopamine release. Reciprocity is one of the most deeply ingrained psychological principles of human interaction. When someone does something for us, we feel an inherent obligation to return the favor. But why does this happen? The answer lies in our evolutionary history. Cooperation was essential for survival, and those who failed to reciprocate were often ostracized from their communities. As a result, our brains developed a powerful psychological mechanism to ensure fairness and mutual support. Think of that free sample you got at the grocery store. You felt a little obligated to buy something, right? That's reciprocity in action. Giving something first makes the other person feel obligated to reciprocate, triggering dopamine release. Robert Cialdini in Influence. The psychology of persuasion found that when someone does us a favor, we feel obligated to return it. This is the law of reciprocity. A study by Dr. Dennis Regan at Cornell University showed that when participants were given a free can of soda, they were twice as likely to buy raffle tickets in return, even if they didn't want the soda. This highlights how even small gestures can trigger an automatic response to reciprocate. This is why companies invest in free trials, samples, and bonuses. It activates this instinctive human reaction. That's how powerful reciprocity is. Ever heard of the give-and-take principle? A great example is that coworker who always brings in treats. People are more likely to help them out because they feel a sense of obligation to return the favor. As John C. Maxwell said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. By giving first, you establish trust, deepen relationships, and create an environment where people naturally want to reciprocate. Throughout history, leaders and influential figures have harnessed the power of reciprocity to drive change. Take the example of Mahatma Gandhi, who dedicated his life to serving others, advocating for nonviolence, and championing social justice. In return, millions followed him, reciprocating his commitment with their loyalty and support. Similarly, businesses that offer exceptional customer service often build loyal clientele who in turn become brand advocates. Martin Luther King Jr. inspired people to take action by first giving them hope and vision for a better world. Business leaders like Warren Buffett freely share investment wisdom, creating a network of trust and loyalty. Reciprocity is also one of the foundational principles of community building. Author Adam Grant, in Give and Take, explains how givers in business and leadership often outperform takers in the long run. By building authentic relationships based on generosity, people create long-lasting networks of trust. How do you use this? Create urgency by limiting availability, whether it's in business, marketing, or even personal negotiations. Use the power of exclusivity to make people feel like they are part of something special. Highlight unique selling points that make your offer stand out, reinforcing why it's rare and valuable. Implement countdown timers or limited slots in sales to trigger immediate action. Remind people that opportunities don't last forever, increasing their motivation to act now. Be the first to offer value in any interaction, whether personal or professional. Remember that even small acts of kindness create lasting impressions and foster goodwill. Leverage reciprocity in business by giving away valuable content, resources, or trials before expecting a commitment. Reinforce relationships by showing appreciation and gratitude as a sincere thank you can deepen trust and connection. Offer value first. If you're in sales, give useful advice before asking for the sale. Give compliments without expecting anything in return. Share knowledge freely. When you provide value, people naturally want to support you. Implement reciprocity in daily interactions. Offer genuine compliments, lend a helping hand, or share valuable information. Building strong connections is key to fostering reciprocity. Tactic number 2, scarcity, the fear of missing out phenomenon. Scarcity is one of the most powerful psychological motivators known to humankind. The idea that something is running out or will no longer be available creates an immediate emotional response. But why does scarcity influence us so profoundly? The answer lies in our evolutionary past. Resources were often limited, and those who secured valuable items before they became unavailable had a better chance of survival. This deeply ingrained instinct still drives our decisions today. Remember that limited edition shoe release everyone went crazy for? That's scarcity in action. Our brains are wired to crave what's scarce, creating a sense of urgency and fear of missing out. A study by Dr. Stephen Wurtzel found that people rated cookies as more desirable when there were fewer of them available. This is because our brain perceives scarcity as a signal of value and urgency. Ever clicked on that pop-up saying, "Only 2 spots left"? That's scarcity in action. The psychological phenomenon of loss aversion, as described by Nobel Prize-winning economist Daniel Kahneman in Thinking Fast and Slow, explains that people are more motivated by the fear of losing something than by the prospect of gaining something of equal value. This is why limited-time offers and exclusive deals are so compelling. They play on our natural inclination to avoid missing out. We see something as limited and fear losing out, making us more likely to act. Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." By making something exclusive or limited, you position it as high value, making people eager to be part of it. The success of Apple's product launches, where limited initial availability generates excitement and high demand, is a prime example of how scarcity fuels anticipation and desirability. By making something exclusive or limited, you position it as high value, making people eager to be part of it. Scarcity has been used throughout history to create demand and drive action. Napoleon Bonaparte, for example, understood the power of scarcity when rewarding his soldiers. He deliberately limited promotions and medals, making them more coveted and increasing motivation among his troops. Similarly, modern-day businesses use exclusivity to make their products feel more desirable, from luxury brands restricting production to online courses with limited enrollment slots. Napoleon Bonaparte, for example, made his soldiers believe their opportunities were limited, fueling their hunger for conquest. Modern marketing strategies use limited-time offers to push customers to act immediately. How do you use this? Emphasize the value and uniqueness of what you're offering. Highlight limited availability, deadlines, or special features to create a sense of urgency. Use phrases like limited edition, only a few left, or offer ends soon to engage the brain's scarcity bias. Make people feel like they need to act now. Tactic number 3, authority, building trust and credibility. Authority is one of the strongest drivers of human behavior. We naturally defer to those we perceive as knowledgeable and experienced. Why? Because throughout history, our survival depended on trusting leaders, healers, and warriors who demonstrated expertise. This evolutionary instinct still influences our decision-making today. Think of a doctor giving you medical advice. You trust them because of their expertise, right? That's the power of authority. We are more likely to believe someone perceived as an expert. Dr. Stanley Milgram's famous experiment on obedience demonstrated how people are more likely to follow instructions from an authority figure, even when those instructions seem questionable. This highlights the deep psychological trust we place in perceived expertise. Showcasing credentials, testimonials, and experience builds trust and credibility. Think about how celebrities are often used in advertisements to sell a product. Even though they may not be experts, their perceived authority makes products more desirable. As former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Confidence and authority go hand in hand. People naturally gravitate toward those who appear knowledgeable and self-assured. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people are significantly more likely to trust and purchase a product when it is endorsed by an authority figure, such as a doctor, scientist, or industry expert. This is why businesses spend billions securing endorsements from professionals and thought leaders. Authority figures like Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey have built their brands on expertise and trust. Their voices carry weight because they consistently demonstrate knowledge, experience, and results. Even ancient philosophers recognized the power of authority. Confucius once said, "He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions." This reminds us that true authority comes not just from knowledge, but from a continuous pursuit of wisdom and improvement. In the modern world, TED Talks are a great example of how authority shapes influence. People from around the world listen to TED speakers because they are positioned as experts in their respective fields. When someone is introduced as a neuroscientist, business leader, or psychologist, the audience is immediately more receptive to their message. How do you use this? Communicate with confidence and clarity. People trust those who believe in their own message. Demonstrate your knowledge and expertise in your field through consistent actions and results. Use endorsements, testimonials, or credentials to establish credibility. Speak with conviction. People are more likely to listen to someone who exudes confidence and authority. Never stop learning. True authority comes from continuous growth, study, and refinement of your skills. Leverage social proof. When others see that respected individuals endorse you, they are more likely to trust you as well. By positioning yourself as an authority through expertise, consistency, and confidence, you naturally increase your ability to persuade and influence others. Think of a doctor giving you medical advice. You trust them because of their expertise, right? That's the power of authority. We are more likely to believe someone perceived as an expert. Dr. Stanley Milgram's famous experiment on obedience demonstrated how people are more likely to follow instructions from an authority figure, even when those instructions seem questionable. This highlights the deep psychological trust we place in perceived expertise. Showcasing credentials, testimonials, and experience builds trust and credibility. Think about how celebrities are often used in advertisements to sell a product. Even though they may not be experts, their perceived authority makes products more desirable. As former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Confidence and authority go hand in hand. People naturally gravitate toward those who appear knowledgeable and self-assured. Authority figures like Elon Musk and Oprah Winfrey have built their brands on expertise and trust. Their voices carry weight because they consistently demonstrate knowledge, experience, and results. How do you use this? Communicate with confidence and clarity. Demonstrate your knowledge and expertise in your field. Use endorsements, testimonials, or credentials to establish credibility. Speak with conviction. People are more likely to listen to someone who exudes confidence and authority. Expanding on persuasion with timeless wisdom. As Aristotle famously said, character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. This highlights the importance of credibility in influencing others. When people trust you, they are far more likely to listen and act on your words. This is why great leaders throughout history have built reputations of integrity and expertise before persuading the masses. In the modern world, renowned motivational speaker Tony Robbins emphasizes that the way we communicate with others and with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Communication is the foundation of persuasion, and mastering it means refining not just what you say, but how you say it, ensuring it resonates deeply with your audience. Author and TED Talks speaker Simon Sinek, in Start With Why, explains that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This means that persuading others isn't just about facts and logic. It's about connecting on an emotional level and inspiring them with a deeper purpose. Final thoughts. Take action today. Persuasion is not just about getting what you want. It's about creating meaningful change. The greatest influencers in history, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Nelson Mandela, understood that the power of persuasion is rooted in authenticity, empathy, and purpose. They didn't just push their ideas onto others. They inspired, connected, and led with integrity. As Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." True persuasion isn't about manipulation, it's about making others feel valued, heard, and motivated to take action. Moreover, persuasion is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and refining your ability to connect with people. As the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates taught, asking the right questions is often more powerful than simply giving answers. A true persuader understands the needs, fears, and motivations of their audience and tailors their message accordingly. Challenge yourself. Use one of these tactics in a conversation today and observe the outcome. Reflect on a past situation where you could have applied these principles more effectively. Continue to study the art of persuasion. Read books, watch TED Talks, and analyze how the best communicators influence others. Practice ethical persuasion by using these techniques to create win-win situations in both personal and professional interactions. If this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit that like button. Let's build a community of action takers who use persuasion for positive impact. Now go out there and make it happen. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. Now that you understand these powerful persuasion tactics, apply them in your life. Challenge yourself. Use one of these tactics in a conversation today. Observe how people respond when you leverage reciprocity, scarcity, or authority. Reflect on how these strategies impact your personal and professional life. If this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit that like button. Let's build a community of action takers who use persuasion for positive impact. Now go out there and make it happen.